Good morning, and welcome to A Better World with Julann and Fran. I'm Julann.
And I'm Fran, and today we have a very special guest, Lisa Machenberg. Welcome, Lisa.
Welcome.
Fran, Julian, thank you so much for inviting me onto your podcast. And the name is A Better World. And I think that's something that we all need today. So it is a privilege to be here.
Well,
Thank you.
Lisa, thank you. Yes, Lisa, I know you have done, and you continue to do many, many things that make the world a better place. Which ones would you like to talk about today?
You know, I am a hypnotherapist from HMI College of Hypnotherapy. They did open up a second year, and I also do have a degree in mind body psychology, but I practice under hypnotherapy. And I think that how complex the world is right now, that everybody has to notice when they are being all caught up with overwhelm from the 24-hour news cycle, from family, especially this time of year. We are recording here in December. And awareness is the medicine of change. So, what I'd like to talk about today is what happens and how we can become aware that we're beginning to get sucked into old ideas, old beliefs, and old reactions.
Excellent, excellent. And can you explain how that happens?
First of all, it's an evolutionary adaptation, or it's from the divine, or both. It doesn't have to be an either or. The world is kind of an and I'd love all of our viewers and our listeners to really understand that we don't have to ever either or. We can and. And so, either through evolution or the divine or both, what happens is when we become overwhelmed with anything, immediately, automatically, subconsciously, and by design, a door opens between the conscious and subconscious mind. And the only thing we want to do is do what's familiar, the very thing that kept us alive yesterday, even if it's not the wisest choice. May I give you an example?
Absolutely.
Please.
Let's say that we go to our family's house. Anybody here have a family?
Yes, we will.
Anybody here going to see our family over the holidays?
That I'm not.
And you're with a sibling, and the sibling does a little malicious teasing because the sibling just fell into the old pattern. Or you see your sister, and I always make a joke. Fran knows this joke. My sister loves it when I get Botox because she can't see me judging her. And we want to tease our sibling. We want to give a little dig, or they do that to us. Sound familiar to anybody?
Absolutely, yeah.
And when someone in our family decides to push a button, and do you know why your kids, I don't know if anybody has kids. Anybody have kids?
Yes, and grandkids.
Okay. Do you know why your kids push your buttons, Julianne?
Now, why do they push my buttons? For fun?
No. They installed them. That's what they were doing for 9 months when they lived in your body. They were installing the buttons to push the nanosecond they turned 13 and a half. And they never stop.
Yeah.
Adult children, did you know that your adult children turn 14 and a half the minute they see you? Do you ever feel that?
No, thank God. No, I don't feel that. I don't feel like they're ready to push my buttons the minute I see them. I try to control my responses
Good for
so
you.
that I'm the only one that can push my buttons.
That
I
is,
don't always succeed, but I
yes,
try that.
yes, and grandchildren too. And 2-year-olds, again, are very annoying by design. They have two words. Their first word is no, their second word is mine. Their first sentence is no, mine. All right. Uh,
Yeah.
so, okay. So you're very, very, very wise. But a lot of people, when they go back to their family, start to react the way they acted last time because they're still alive today. Does that make sense to everybody?
Sure.
Yes.
Or I'll give you a better example. How about your smoking people? They had stress, they smoked. They have stress today, so they smoke again because it worked last time. So they know it's not wise, but it is familiar. So I
Right.
want to talk today about what happens when we know it's not wise, but it's familiar. Most people go towards what is familiar instead of what's wise. My favorite example is Amazon Prime Day. When you say, I don't need another one of those. I have one of those. Damn, it's on sale. Put in cart, buy now. Alexa, stop. I don't know what that is. Okay,
You
so
heard Amazon. She was excited.
I know she wanted me to put another one in my cart. So, first of all, when this happens, we need to become aware. Then we need to take one very deep breath and picture the door flew open. A door opened between the conscious and subconscious mind. Now, not a literal door, but kind of a literal door. There is a space between the conscious and subconscious that's really porous, that opens and closes and opens and closes all day. So picture the door opening. And when the door opens, we only choose to do what's familiar. It's called fight, flight, freeze, or women, ladies, accommodate.
No,
Yeah.
That one we know.
Yeah. Fight, flight, freeze, accommodate.
yeah.
So you're not killed or damaged. So you accommodate the aggressor. And you just said something very interesting, Julian. You said that one we know. May I ask? I know Fran very well. She's my wonderful, wonderful friend and colleague. May I ask your background?
Well, as a wife and a mother and a grandmother, sometimes, especially with my grown children, I can find, as I said, I don't react. I try to take the personal out of things. I know that sounds silly, but when people speak, they don't always mean what they say. You know what I mean? So I try to, I guess, accommodate. That's what I do. I try, like maybe I won't ask the full question, or um, I'm a caretaker. You know what I mean? I get everything ready. I cook, I clean, I do all those things. So I think I'm always accommodating and helping and providing, and
Is that good for you? Do you like that?
I do.
Good.
I do.
So that is done with intention.
Yes.
Your professional background besides being a wife and a mother and a grandmother, which is the a full-time job, and there's never a vacation nor a lunch without a human being sitting on your lap. Um, do you have a background in mental health?
I don't.
Oh,
I worked customer service my whole life. When I worked, I worked on Wall Street. I ran a gym. You know, I did everything I did was customer service related.
I hear that East Coast accent.
Yes, New
Where are you
York,
from?
Brooklyn. Fran and I
Stanford,
grew up together.
I've known
Stanford,
Julie.
Connecticut.
Oh, yes, that's right. We're
Mhm.
neighbors.
Right.
I've known Julann since we were 14, and I was certain she would be a therapist because we all went to her with our problems. She still is such a great listener. I happened to mention this to one of our childhood friends from our block, Ann Persichetti, and she told me of a time when she encountered you in a subway station, and the two of you started talking, and she remembered thinking about you, she should be a therapist because you're such a great listener and you remember the details. So anyway, in case
I
that
would.
was what triggered your question, Lisa, that's
It was because I heard that. Well, it's kind of interesting, um, uh, Fran and Julian and all who are listening, that what Julian said is when she accommodates, she does it with intention. But did you know that when we get overwhelmed, we can go into fight or flight. Everyone's heard of that. We can go into freeze, but there's another defense mechanism called accommodate. It's actually called fawn because people like F's. I don't know why. So fight, flight, freeze, fawn, or accommodate. but it's not the way that Julian does it with intention. It's a way of just keeping yourself safe.
Right.
And when we get overwhelmed, even if it's not a life-threatening situation, we do it subconsciously. And if we want to act with intention, here's my secret for a better world, so that you can have the exalted emotion of pride, so you can respond instead of react. When you're overwhelmed, how would you like to feel? Fran, give me 2 words. When you get overwhelmed with the holidays, the news cycle, your podcast, your technology. What? I almost had a problem zooming in today. I started to glitch a little bit. Ooh, went right into fight or flight. How would you like to feel when things happen to you, Fran? Give me 2 words.
Calm in charge.
Calm and in charge. Give me 2 words, Julian. When you
Those are the words I was going to say. Calm and in control.
calm and in control. Mine are physically relaxed, mentally alert, and I like it. I want to become present in the present moment. Stop what ifing and damn what happened last time. So this I call hypnoxanax. It's highly addictive, but there are no side effects. So
Nice.
think about a time when you were calm and in charge. Think about a time when you were calm and in control. Think of a memory. Got it. Then, good. Look at Fran, look up and to the left, left to right. That means she's envisioning it. So you memorize that, memorize what that feels like. And one, I do everything in poor Fran. She does everything in a formula. Beware, Julianne. She does everything in a formula. One, become aware that you've just gone into overwhelm. Awareness is the medicine of change. Awareness is the medicine of change. One, become aware. Two, take that deep breath. Three, close the door. Come on, everybody, close the door. Good. Close the door. Picture it closing. That's a finger press. And my business is called an anchor. Close the door and breathe in. I am physically calm, emotionally in control, and I like it. And what it does in the brain is it resets the neural pathways to the very last time you were calm and in charge. It goes, it closes the door between the conscious and subconscious mind. And like Julianne, you can act with intention instead of what's familiar.
That's
I do a
great.
lot of deep breathing. I don't close the door. That's something new. I'm going to try that too. But I watch my grandchildren and they're, 19 months and 3.5 and 7. And sometimes when they're all running around or they're, they do things, yeah, I take a deep breath and and they see me and I tell them, okay, let's all take an om breath. That's what my grandson calls it,
Mm.
om anymore. So we all, and I try to lead by example
Just
because
gonna say,
if you get out of control and crazy and all the rest, not that it can't happen and it sometimes does, but if I just take a breath and say, okay, count to 10 or whatever and go from there. But now I'll add these other things too.
that's excellent because you do lead by example. Your children will never, ever, ever do what you say, but they'll always
No,
do what you do.
it's funny. Sometimes we say, don't eat that. I'll say, okay, I don't want you to have that. And they'll eat it. Yeah.
But they'll always do what you do. But if you say, Grandma knows that this is not good for our mind and body, so although it looks yummy, I don't choose it, they will do what you say. They won't do what you say, but they'll do what you
You
do.
do.
You can
Right.
push it away. Not good for us. So, really a wonderful grandma. And also them running around and screaming and even wrestling, even the 19-month-old. It's not really life threatening. So you don't need to go into fight or flight. The brain tells you do because there could be a predator around because the subconscious mind thinks that you're still on the savannah in the middle of East Africa
Right.
200,000 years ago. It does. And so you release the urgency, take that deep breath, release the urgency. And that's brilliant. And then the kids will do it too. An own breath. Hey, can I teach you something for the little ones if you want to have fun, especially
Sure.
with the little ones? There's a 7-year-old, a 19-month-old, and which
They're April, July. Thea was in July,
uh,
so almost 3.5. And
okay,
and I also have a 10-month-old grandson.
okay.
So all ages.
She pulled it off. 19 months and 10 months. No, I bet they're two different kids.
Two different kids, three
Okay,
kids.
good. Because I
Everybody's
was
got
going to
kids.
say that's a very prolific family.
We're
But
good, but we're not that good.
yeah, okay, I'll tell you a story. Fran, I'll tell you a story that you haven't heard before. So what I
Okay.
do with my little ones in my practice is I say, alligator breath. Let's be
Cute.
alligators. Butterfly breath. That I do. Care Bear breath.
Nice.
No.
Or the 7-year-old will do that. They'll go, that's stupid. I'm not doing it. But the 7-year-old, if you get bubbles and you say, we're all now going to do bubbles, you will easily, automatically, subconsciously get a deep breath because
You breathe
you
in.
have to stop. If you do, you don't get anything. So I carry bubbles
Yeah, me
pretty much
too.
every
I have a
place
lot of
with
I
me,
have bubbles everywhere. So
everywhere. But there's your deep breathing. It's cool. Anyway, I'm very, very, very envious. And um, Fran, if Julian has 4 grandchildren, I want one.
you'll get one.
Thank you.
You'll get one. You
Well,
will.
your kids are still in school, aren't they?
Yeah, you have
No,
young kids. I have old kids. I'm
you have,
old.
okay. You're not old. I'm 1959.
I'm gonna be 63. We're gonna be 63.
Yes.
You guys are young. I have a story for you
Okay.
that probably nobody's ever heard in here or on your podcast or anyone. Fran, Julian, my husband and I discovered in July of last year that my husband and I have twin daughters that we full biological siblings, quads with my sons, that we never, ever, ever knew existed on planet Earth till for 23 years.
Well, first of all, your sons are twins,
My sons are
right?
twins, they're
Right.
29, and my daughter is 27. She's a singleton. And we now have twin daughters who are quads with my sons, who we are seeing. We're all getting together for the holidays.
Oh, lovely.
Wow,
Anybody have
that
a question?
yeah,
Yeah, how
so
did that
many.
happen?
So many.
How did that happen?
Thank you, Fran. My husband and I had a fertility journey, and we went for in vitro, and we had 19 beautiful embryos. We have our beautiful sons. We had our beautiful daughter the old-fashioned way. By the way, Julian, you might not know this, that when a boy and a girl have a strong feeling come over them, a man and a woman, they can do a magic hug. And sometimes God puts the right soul in the lady's womb. Do you have any questions? I asked this to my daughter. She says, I know how we got Jake and Max because they went down to the lab, but how
Right.
did I get in your womb? I know that Dr. Meldrum put the boys in your womb, but how did I get in your womb? I said, well, this happens. Most people you see is that a man and a woman do a magic hug, and
I've never heard
they
that.
do a magic hug, and only sometimes, and you might not know this, Hashem, that's the Jewish word for God. Hashem puts, sometimes Hashem puts the right soul or souls in the lady's womb. Do you have any questions? And she says, yes. How do atheists have babies?
Good for her.
She's me. I freaking cloned myself.
Yeah.
Um, we donated the rest of the embryos back to the clinic to do not experimentation, but for another family. And the family that chose them for religious reasons, because they're extremely religious, and chose never ever, because their religion teaches that any kind of assisted reproduction is a sin and in vitro is murder.
Oh,
it's not that uncommon. It's a religious belief.
Wow.
And so they never, ever, ever told the girls they were not biologically connected to them. And then along came 23andMe, and they saw they had no connection at all with their mother or father, had a full mother, a full father, and three full biological siblings that they had shared 100% DNA with. And then they did some research and they found us.
Oh, that is,
Go
wow.
over with their family, with their
Go
how
ahead.
how did they do when they confronted their
Okay. So Julian, Julianne, it's a brilliant question because I don't know if Fran sees this, but I do. Even before this, 10% of my practice is people who took 23andMe and found out that their family of origin story was a lie, which who are you when you're an adult and you realize you're not who you were told you were? It's extremely disorienting. When your older sister is really your mom, happens a lot in certain communities,
yeah,
lots and lots of communities.
so many, yeah.
They just say, well, we'll tell everybody, we'll tell her you're her sister and I'll be the mom.
Later on, when you get a little older, blah blah blah, and then it's getting harder and harder to tell because
They
of the
never tell.
lie.
Because of the lie. You're right. What happens when um, your father, you have 32 other half siblings because your father traveled for work?
Oh, goodness.
A lot. That's a big part of my practice. Uh,
Because he was a donor.
no,
Yes,
usually
I know.
when
Donor.
yeah, he was a donor. He was a donor.
A different kind of donor.
A donor, yeah, from Tokyo to Guam to Tel Aviv to Dubai.
God.
Yeah. Then we have the donor ones, but the donor ones now are having huge reunions. Did you know? Have you seen this?
No?
They like there's 30, 40 of them. They all come and they all meet at the dad's house and everybody brings food and they all reconnect. It's a thing now. It's trending
Uh,
for sperm donors because it was pretty, people usually tell people. So it's very, very joyous. There's not this horrible big lie. Um, and a lot of them is your father's not your father. And I see that all day in my practice, you know. So with me, what happened, and it's a brilliant question, is there was rage.
On whose part?
kids.
My kids, my
Oh,
daughters, rage. And so they both came, and what I told them is, yo, your mom is imperfect, but you love her anyway. And that gives you permission to know that you're imperfect and you can love yourself. So I did a lecture over at USC recently on reproductive ethics. What happens when values collide? So think about this mom, and I know you're both very psychologically minded. She desperately loved her religion and believed the tenets of the faith. She wanted to carry a pregnancy. Her religion told her she couldn't. It was forbidden. And this is not what God wanted for her. And she wanted to carry a pregnancy. And she believes in honesty and integrity. And all these things collided.
Right.
And you guys know psychology. And that was my lecture at USC is what do you do? And they are brilliant students. And I had to each write a little sentence and then read it. And they all came up with the same solution. And the solution is some flexibility. So the mom made a choice. But the other thing is, she was teaching in her religious school, she was teaching at the school. And if they had found out she had assisted reproduction, she would have lost her job. So she also had financial stability as one of her core values.
Wow.
So, as I talk to the girls about owning their emotions. And two things can be true. You can be rage at your mom and you can love her anyway. That you can hold these two things at the same time.
I once saw I think it was a pillow for adoptive parents that said something like, you were born not under my heart, but in it. And I thought that was such a sweet
It's so
way to
nice.
refer to an adoptive child. I wanted you that much that, I might not have born you in my body, but you were born in my heart.
Truth, truth,
If
beautiful.
if they can get over the anger and disappointment, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, they might not have ever been born. You know what I mean? So the fact that they're together and now they have a new family, I hope and pray that they can open their hearts and forgive her and continue having a good life with all of you.
I did. I said, the only thing I want for you is to feel rooted into this world because when this does happen psychologically, you feel adrift in this world. You don't know who you are. You don't know your past. Um, and the people who you trust most are untrustworthy. So that's why it rocks your world. So yeah, so I said you need to feel what I want for you is to feel rooted in. So here are your ancestors. Here are your siblings. Here is your mom who installed her ethics and values into you. And here is that you have a legacy. So was that, and then the house burned down, by the way.
Oh, your
Um,
house, that's right, in the beginning of the year.
yeah, so that
Yeah.
happened in August. I met my daughters, full biological daughters, and to watch the three of mine and those two play on the beach in the middle of summer was the most surreal peak experience I've ever had.
What a gift.
What a gift. Then the house burned down in August and January 7th. Then my son just got married. One of my sons just got married, and my daughter is in Zurich, and my other son is moving to Zurich. So um, it's a lot. So this is why to making the world better, to be able to become aware of your triggers, to be able to become aware of when you are beginning to do what's familiar and not what is wise. So I figured I'd do my own research. I'm
That's
becoming
good.
overwhelmed.
And you said something that's so true. We're not perfect. We're just trying to do our best. That's all. And we're coming from a place of love and kindness, and we don't always get it right.
No, we don't. And to be able to think about forgiving other people and then
Right.
forgiving yourself for being imperfect. There's one
Right.
thing about being imperfect. There's this other thing about being imperfect and getting caught. That's what really sucks.
Yeah, no.
But other people notice.
Yeah.
Did
I
you
don't know.
guys
This
have
one's
it?
a whole big thing. This one is, this is a major, so many pieces. It's not just telling a lie or whatever, and then getting caught in a lie. There were so many different reasons, and I don't
Yeah.
know. It's going to be okay. I just know it. It's all going to be okay.
So what else did you to make the world a better place? Did you want to ask at all anything about hypnotherapy, about past life regression,
Yes. How long have you been
about
teaching past life
mindfulness?
regression?
Okay. Um, I've been teaching past life regression for 700 years. Thank you for
Wow.
that setup,
You look so
Fran.
good.
Good. Yes, thank you. You got an A+ for asking that question. 700 years.
I should get
Well,
an A+ for telling you how good you look too.
you absolutely, Julian, you get an A+ also. Didn't say you don't look a day over 500. That
500.
is. Um, and
Oh
then
boy.
I also do a practice called ecotherapy, where I take people down to the beach or to the woods or even to the grass, and we practice being present in the present moment. And with all the five, savoring the five senses.
That's a great thing to
It
do.
is.
May I,
Um,
yeah,
yes, please.
may I show you a mindfulness exercise?
Yes, please.
Please.
For everybody, do you guys have something nice to drink? Does everybody who's watching the podcast have
We
something
have,
nice to drink?
oh,
That's
I
all right.
think I
Let's do it
have.
with Fran so we can watch. And everybody, may I ask, what kind of viewership does this podcast have?
I'm not entirely certain, because I'm not a technology person. I've never checked into it, but
Right.
I know each person who's been our guest has shared it on their
Right.
websites and that sort of thing. So I think fairly good.
Julian, do you know
I
about
don't.
your
I'm
viewers?
so bad with social media and things like that. I told Fran for the first time ever, I had 1,500 emails. I didn't even have a chance to do my emails. So I just got that all together. It's been a hectic week. But I know I know are getting the word out. I know that.
I'm getting the word out today. So for everybody who watches this, and then one of you, please send me the link so because this is being recorded so people can watch it.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I will do
So
that.
I'd love that. I'll put it right up on my Facebook and my Insta and all my media things so people can watch this because I'm talking about my favorite topic, which is me. All right, everyone, I'm going to show you a mindfulness exercise. Everybody can do it right now. Fran, take a look at the vessel that you're holding. Look at that. You know, I'm really into the vessel, what the container, what can hold, what the goodness all around us. So take a look at your vessel and take a moment to look at its beautiful picture, its beautiful color. You know, you could have picked any vessel today. You picked the blue one with the blue and the black and the handle. And just breathe in the exalted emotion of gratitude for how beautiful the vessel is. Look at the way the light is shining off of it. And I don't know if you have something cold or hot.
It's
Feel the
warm.
warm. Feel the temperature. Now bring it up to your mouth, but do not sip. When your mouth begins to water, Fran, nod your head. Do you know what that means? Your
That
body
I
is
want.
working perfectly.
Oh, good.
When your mouth waters, it means that you have anticipation. And it means that your conscious and subconscious mind is completely aligned.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Take a nice deep breath on the exalted emotion of gratitude for the mind and the body to be working perfectly and in alignment. Now take a sip and feel the liquid beginning to hydrate each and every cell of your body. Was that kind of fun?
That was very fun. Thank you.
Do you know why? You
Because I was
We're
present.
present.
Yeah, you were savored. You were present. You savored a simple sip of liquid. All of life can be that sacred when we savor. Anybody ever text during a movie or TV show because somebody, and then at the end you went, damn it, I missed the whole show. That's what our brains do. We don't want to miss the whole show. So
Yeah.
we stop and we savor. And that one exercise, when you do it with your first beverage of the day, that one exercise, the research at poor Fran has to hear my platitudes again. Julian, I love you because you get to hear my platitudes for the first time. Research is
Thank you.
my co-therapist. Research is my co-therapist. And the research shows us that doing that for 2 minutes with our first beverage of the day, every day, changes the way our brains function and we are more present and we have more joy and we have superior function. Now
Nice.
add going out and getting the mail and then maybe the first 2 minutes of a shower. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it sound like? And now you are rewiring the brain for joy instead of distress.
I love it. I
That's
do it when I
great.
wash my hands with the kids. You always wash your hands, and even though we do it for 20 seconds, and all that, I pay attention when I wash my hands. I always, think about the soap and the lather, and it helps. It's just so nice. And my first cup of coffee, although I don't do a whole, ritual, I do grab it and say, I love my first coffee in the morning. It's such
That-
a great way to start the day.
That's
So,
beautiful.
yeah, it's a nice
Mindfulness,
way to start the day. Yeah.
savoring. Yeah.
If there's was one thing, you said so many wonderful things, but if there was one thing you'd want the audience to take away from today, what would it be?
Well, I would love to do an exercise. Uh, and this one, if people like to listen, instead of watch, they can even do it while operating heavy machinery and driving a car.
Nice.
Although it's more fun to do it just with your eyes open with someone that you trust or even by yourself. So I prepared that today to share it with you. How long is our podcast, by the way? I have a 10:15, excuse me, a 9:15 client this morning.
Oh, okay. It's usually about half an hour. We've gone a
Yeah.
little bit over, but you
Oh,
can.
Yeah.
oh,
Hmm.
okay. Oh, you know what? All right, you guys do what I say, not what I do. I should have asked that
That's
before
fine.
I joined your podcast. I should, because I didn't have that in my calendar, but I will share. I prepared enough material for an hour, but I will share this with you, and we can do it. You don't even have to close your eyes.
Okay.
But remember how I was the main thing was talking about staying out of fight, flight, flee, and fawn, staying out of um, the subconscious mind and being in these big, beautiful frontal lobes. These frontal lobes, they only are filled with one thing, and that's solutions. The subconscious mind's filled with what's familiar, solutions, what's familiar. Now, if you're being attacked, ladies, by a saber-toothed cat, may I recommend what's familiar? If you're trying to get your technology to work, may I recommend the frontal lobes? Okay.
Yes, please.
So I'm a hypnotherapist, so I'm a hammer. Everything looks like a nail.
Yeah.
So I think that, it's the solution to everything. So here is the exercise. When there is an issue, when there is a problem, when there's a challenge, it's usually one of two things: fear or ego. Fear, what if, what if, what if, what if? Ego, how will I look? How will I look? How will I look? Fear and ego, fear and ego. So, Fran, you get to go first. Now I'll make Julian go first. Julian, your fear and ego is an animal. Quick, what animal is your fear and ego?
Tiger.
Of course, what's its name?
Simba.
Of course, it's Simba the tiger. Excellent. And now, Fran, what's your fear and ego?
Lion,
What's its name?
O'Brien.
O'Brien the lion. That's most
I like it.
excellent. Okay. Hey, mine is one of those St. Bernards that just wants to run up, put its muddy paws on your chest and lick your face and say, love me, love me, love me. Okay, that's mine. All right. And his name is Fluffy, just like my hairless cat. By the way, I do have a hairless cat, and my hairless cat's name is Fluffy. You're welcome. I'm hilarious. Now, so thank you, Julian.
Mm.
So Julianne, so take your lion, your tiger, bring it to a beautiful, beautiful sanctuary where it's so safe and it's beautiful. And there's lots and lots and lots of fun things to chase, and a tree to lay under and a rock to scratch your back, and lots of other people in their pride, other beautiful big cats in their pride. Can everybody now nod your head when your lion and your tiger are safe and you're sure they're safe? Good, thank you. And in the middle of the sanctuary, there's a tree. It's either the tree of life and all who hold fast to it, or it is the Bodhi tree. Or if you're a Viking, it's the tree that connects all of the realms. Every single culture has that tree, every culture. So give Simba and O'Brien a kiss. Let them know you'll be back. And without fear and ego, Climb the tree higher and higher, higher and higher, light as a feather, lifting, rising, higher and higher, hand over hand over hand, till you get to the very, very top of the tree. And there's a tree house. And who is there? Why, your wise self, the one who dwells at the top of the tree without fear and ego, the one who is pure wisdom. And take a moment in your mind or out loud, if you'd like, to ask your wise self any question you want. Anyone want to say theirs out loud?
How do I stay in that state of mind?
Beautiful. And now with all 6 senses, listen. Listen with all 6 senses as your wise self, without fear and ego, answers your question. And when you get your answer, nod your head. Good. Now take your wise self and turn her into a golden orb of light. And breathe her right between the subconscious mind, right between the conscious and subconscious, right at the brainstem. The brainstem is what in Hebrew we call emes or emet. It's where truth lives. And research is where the conscious and subconscious mind begin to connect up. Wow, how interesting. And whenever you have that question again, take a moment and check in with her. Now, she's not going to bother you, but she'll always answer your questions. She's not going to talk to you, but she will always answer your questions because she doesn't want to bother you. You're busy.
Yeah.
When you say, hey, I'm becoming overwhelmed, I want to be back in that state. Hey, wise self, how do I do it? She has 100% of the resources, 100% of the time. Can you, Fran, make that commitment to check in with her when you need her?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Good. Now, climb down, hand over hand over hand, lower, 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 lower. Your feet are on the ground. And there in the sanctuary, who's waiting for you at the bottom of your tree? Why, it's O'Brien, the lion. And who's waiting for you? It's Simba, your tiger. But now, and they say, hey, I missed you. I said, I missed you too. But now you are the one in control. And your fear and your ego, Simba and O'Brien, are your faithful companions because you need them. But now you're the one leading, and they're the one walking diligently by your side.
Oh, I love that.
Very nice. Yeah.
Is that a good exercise for you guys?
Yeah, very nice.
That's great. That's excellent. Lisa, when people want to contact you, how do they do it?
Oh, I'm really, 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 really easy to reach. And I answer my own phone. And my mother of blessed memory used to say, Lisa Lau, one day you'll carry a small phone around with you all day. And it turned out she was
She
right.
was right.
Yeah. So please, you can email me at Lisa R. Machenberg at me.com. Don't forget the R, Lisa R. Lisar Machenberg at me.com. Lisa R. Machenberg at me.com. I'm also the Hypno Mom. That's my website. You can
Nice.
do that. You can also go through HMI College. If you Google me, it will show that I'm an instructor at HMI College of Hypnotherapy. And there's a little thing about contact. And just, you can don't even have to spell my name right. Lisa Machenberg, best guess spelling. And put in a request for contact. I promise I will send you a text the same day.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you
Thank you.
so much for being our guest. You're
Yes, it was so much
wonderful.
fun. Nice to meet you. Good luck with everything.
Yes.
You know what? You too. Happy holidays to you and everybody who's zoomed in or who is listening or watching today. And go ahead and send me that link, and I promise it will be up on my website for anybody to both, and I'll make it shareable so you can
Thank you.
also share it
Thanks.
with all of your friends.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being our guest. This was Lisa R. Machenberg, the certified hypnotherapist and teacher and past life regression therapist teacher for 700 years.
That's
And
Right?
right.
yes, and please like and share this video and join us again, won't you?
Yes. And Julian, let's be Facebook friends.
We
I would
will.
love to follow you and follow your podcast. And thank you for doing this.
Right.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you
Okay,
so much for joining us.
thank you.